What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a new video. And today, in this time, I'm bringing you guys the best guest slash DLC characters. Yeah, because all these characters have been DLC, except for Kratos, he was exclusive for PS3. Anyhow, the best guest characters that NetherRealm has ever made in their games. If you're really a fan of Mortal Kombat, you already know that NetherRealm has put the craziest guest characters that you could ever find, you could ever imagine in fighting games. So, the topic of this video crossed my head the other day, and I said, why not making a video where I can talk about this and choose the best ones for me? You know, choose the best characters for me, or choose the characters that in my opinion should be here. And you know, this would be a really good topic to discuss. Maybe some of you have different opinions, or you would put different characters in this top. And yeah, why not? Before I start with the video, I'm gonna set some rules. Rule number 1. I'm not going to count Mortal Kombat characters in Injustice games. I mean, I know they are guest characters because obviously Mortal Kombat characters are not from DC universe or Injustice universe if you wanna call it like that. But the reason why I'm not counting them as guest characters, it's because in my opinion, if we consider these games are made by the same studio that makes Mortal Kombat games nowadays, they weren't as surprising as other guest characters. They were actually kind of expected for everybody, or at least for most of the people. And yeah, they were really controversial in these games because many people didn't want Mortal Kombat characters in Injustice games. They wanted MK and DC characters in separate games. And the rule number 2 is that I'm not going to count Kratos either. For the same reason I said before. He's not technically a guest character because he was exclusive for PS3. Or at least he was in DLC. Well, I don't know if this counts as a rule due to I said it before, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So let's jump into it. I would like to start with one of my favorite characters in this list. Yes, this character is the Terminator. I chose him for this video cause having Terminator in NK11 is something so epic that I honestly, if you ask me, I never expected. I mean, he had been requested for some people before and even rumored a couple of years ago. But I never thought they were actually going to put him in the game. I mean, I could never imagine Terminator in an MK game, not in a million years, but they made him fit for Mortal Kombat. It was really surprising, and for me what makes him even more awesome is that it's not just the Terminator, it's freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger. I still can't believe that we have freaking Arnold in the game. I personally think this is one of the reasons why many people love him in the game and why many people think he's so much fun. And they also put a lot of reference, not just for the Terminator movies. They also put reference of Arnold movies. Man, And do you have any idea how freaking awesome is that? Well, I really appreciate that, and it's just so cool to play as Terminator and play as Arnold in my opinion. Well, I know it was really a shame Arnold couldn't voice himself in the game. But I mean, the fact of having Terminator in the game and the references and all this stuff is still pretty awesome. So now I wanna talk about MKX. And for this game I chose two characters that fit perfectly for the title of this video. And they are Jason and Predator. And I say it because when they were announced, people really got crazy. People lost it. I mean, who wouldn't? And I think for those days, that was something really unbelievable. That we were actually going to be able to play as them, to play with such iconic characters. And talking about Jason, when he had just come out, literally everybody was playing as him. It was insane. The sales increased. The amount of people playing as him was freaking insane. And it wasn't just that. The videos in YouTube, views, and streams also increased as hell for those days. And it happened kinda the same for Predator. He was so much fun to play, his combos were really good. I think almost no one ever imagined that we were going to have these characters in the game. And that was why there was so much hype for these characters. The amount of hype was insane for those days. And they also did an excellent job with these characters, not just visual, also gameplay, references to their movies as well, and personally me as a slasher fan, I mean, what else could I ask? And on the other hand, of course I love Predator in Mortal Kombat. I really love his movies. Now, I'd like to move on to Injustice. Following the rule that I said before for Injustice, I got no many characters left. But there's one that has to be here for sure. And yes, I bet you already know who I'm talking about. The Ninja Turtles. Not gonna lie, that was really mind-blowing. Nobody saw it coming. The thing was that people were expecting other characters that I don't recall well which were, but the point is that people were expecting other characters and they didn't get what they wanted. But the funny thing is that no one complained about it. Nobody got pissed off. I mean, how can you possibly hate the Ninja Turtles? How can you get pissed off when you have the Ninja Turtles even though you wanted any other character? You just can't. Literally, they blew our minds. And they also managed to put the 4 turtles really well. And they also did a great job with their gameplay. Their gameplay is unique for each turtle, having different mechanics depending on the turtle you're playing as. They were pretty awesome and pretty badass, and in my opinion they are one of the craziest guest characters that NetherRealm has ever put in their games. I remember that they were announced in an Injustice 2 championship and everyone was on the edge of their seats, waiting to see the character that was still to be announced. And when the crowd could finally see which was that character, well, the reaction is priceless. One of the most wholesome reactions.
Yo, Adam is too thick.
Yo, he is. But then Francis is godlike.
Yo, what is that? Oh, let's go!
Now, coming back to MK11, I would like to talk about a character that some of you might not agree with me, but personally I think should be here. I'm talking about the Joker. I know you will say in the comments that why if I excluded Mortal Kombat characters in Injustice, why am I putting Joker here? And all I have to say is this is different. In a Mortal Kombat game, not every DC character can fit in Mortal Kombat. The reason why it's that this is a real violent game, and you just can't have the rights to kill a character like Batman in all of the most violent ways you could ever imagine. You just can't rip Batman's head off. And you know, in Injustice you could easily put a Mortal Kombat character by making it less violent. And as I said before, not every DC character fits in this universe. Not everyone would be enough violent to be cool in this game. And in this aspect, Joker fits surprisingly well. When we saw him in the trailer, many got angry. And well, I can't blame them, because I also thought he was not gonna fit in this universe. And he also had a terrible look in that trailer that was fixed later on. He turned out to be super fun, super awesome, and gruesome as hell, and violent as hell, with also many references to the movies and comics. Now everyone loves him and no one complains about him. Well, maybe his latest movie helped this because everyone changed their minds after the movie, including me as well. Yeah, I have to admit that before the movie, the first time that I saw him in the Kombat Pack trailer, I didn't even mind so much, I didn't even care that we were going to have Joker. But now I'm happy that we have Joker in the game. Yeah, I have to admit it. And some of you should admit it too. Well, now to finish, I'm going to talk about a character that hasn't been released yet, but definitely has to be here. And yes, you already know who I'm talking about. Spam. Well, Spam. This character is the most requested character to the date. He's been requested by the people even in MKX like 4 years ago. And now it's finally official. It's happening. This character is like a dream come true for a lot of people. Personally, I wasn't asking for him because I've never been a great fan of comics and this stuff, you know. So I don't know so much about his story and all that stuff, but he looks really awesome and really sick. And I know he's not going to disappoint us. We even knew he was coming since the last year, but NetherRealm decided to release his most wanted, his most requested character for the last. It's a really great marketing strategy, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, I hope I can upload this video before the Spawn gameplay reveal, which is in March 8th, in case you didn't know it. He's gonna be revealed in the final combat in a massive event in Chicago, in NetherRealm hometown. And I know this character is gonna make history in Mortal Kombat. So that was it for today. I wanted to put more characters in the video, such as Alien or Leatherface of MKX, or even a MK9 character, but now that I think the only guest character of MK9 was Freddy Krueger, and he didn't even live up to the expectations. Maybe because his design for him in that game was the Freddy of the remake, and nobody liked that Freddy. And I even wanted to put more Injustice characters here, but I didn't have many options. And this is a top. I cannot put everyone in the video. I have to choose, and it was really hard to choose, really hard to make this list. Because I wanted to put pretty much everyone, because I think overall NetherRealm has always done a great job with these characters. But this is a top, and I have to choose the very best. And these have been the characters that in my humble opinion should be here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave a like if you did, I would appreciate it. And also feel free to tell me in the comments what would you like to see in the future. That's all, bye bye!